This video is about refinishing cabinets. I'm going to show you here how I refinish cabinets. We had done this for my daughter in her kitchen, and so I'm going to show you the process of what we do. This is a cabinet door that came out of a kitchen, and so the first thing you need to do is you have to degrease it. We're going to degrease the cabinet first, then we're going to sand it, then we're going to clean it up again and prime it. Through this process, I'm going to show you some still shots of my daughter's kitchen, before and after. When you're degreasing the cabinets, take good care. Put enough degreaser on there, get into all the grooves, and check them as you go through. Make sure you get into every little spot. This way you remove all the grease that would cause your paint to peel. If you don't do this process properly, you could wind up having it peel later on. Just sanding it is not enough. You must do a thorough job of degreasing it. This is my daughter's kitchen, or this is what it looked like before we refinished it. You can see different door colors. The crown molding was a different color. Another piece by the sink was another color. And so they wanted to refinish it, and they asked me what I thought about painting it. I was not a fan of painting cabinets until I found this product from Benjamin Moore called Advanced. It is a very good product. It lays down very nicely. We brushed and rolled all her cabinets, and they look like they were sprayed. This product you can spray, but you need an airless paint sprayer. Now that we've got it all cleaned up with the degreaser, then what I like to do is get a wet rag with just clean water, clean it thoroughly, the whole door or all the cabinets, and get into the grooves, get all that degreaser off of it in case any has dried onto it. I use a citrus degreaser, and sometimes it gets a little sticky on there, so I like wiping it off with the wet rag. Get that all thoroughly done. Then we're going to start with the sandpaper, with the sander, orbital sander, to hit all the flat areas. I'm using a 320 grit, and I hit all the flat areas with it. I'm not trying to take all the finish off. I'm just trying to get anything loose off of it, scuff it up to be able to have the paint to adhere better. And so I just run through it quickly. But then I use a hand sandpaper. I fold it up and I get in all the grooves. I want to get in all the grooves because if any sealer or anything that's on the door, if it's already cracking there or coming off or is loose, that'll happen to your paint. So you want to make sure that you get that all sanded down and get all those little flaky areas off. Then from that point, once you get it all sanded, you wipe it all down with a dry rag. Try and get all the dust off. If you have an air hose, use an air hose. I'm wiping it off with a dust cloth, and then I'm also going to use a tack rag. The tack rag works very good. Just get into all the corners, all the grooves to get all the dust out. You need to get all this dust out. This way you don't have any issues. You won't have it peeling later on. Then when this is done, you're ready to prime. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll get this thing primed up. Get one coat on. I'm going to go ahead and do both sides at the same time. I won't do that during the finish, but I will do it here so that I have my drying time. I need this to dry for 8 hours so I can lightly sand it before I put on my finish coat. When you're brushing and rolling these doors, especially with the primer, you do not need to put a lot of paint on. You make sure you get into all the grooves first. I like to do that with my paintbrush. Then I use the roller, but I don't put a lot of paint on my roller. I try to keep it somewhat dry. And I roll that in evenly. If I don't feel it's evenly, I'll go back over it again until I make it even. So get all your flat areas done. I do the back side first, then I flip it over on the cones because I'm trying to do both sides at the same time. I will not do that with the finish, but I will do it with the primer. Once it's flipped over, I do the same thing. I do all the grooves. Do my grooves first, then I take my roller and I roll everything out. Then I'm going to let it sit for 8 hours, and then we're going to lightly sand it and put the first finish coat on. Then I will lightly sand that, and I will put the last finish coat on. And you can see her cabinets, how they came out. They came out very beautiful. I was just up there putting up the balance, and they still look like the day we had finished them. If you can see the cabinets, and now you can also see the backsplash. But I'll have another video for that backsplash. She had a white backsplash, and we changed it to this gold, and it's very beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Building with Papa. See you on the next one.